Well, you know, it's your boy DD758. Yeah, I'm well moisturized today. I'm back. I've been a little busy, so that's why I haven't been doing much lives. But this episode of Ready to Love, yo, I'm ready. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment. Ready to Love, episode, season 4, episode 8. The X Factors. This was very interesting. I think it's getting better and better, but it's actually getting to a point where it looks like ain't nobody gonna find love because that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like ain't nobody gonna find love. But let's get to it. Nephew Tommy invited the ladies to his house, and the ladies came over. He was telling them that they're gonna have to introduce the guys to the exes. So we had Joel and Venetia. Um, Venetia introduced Joel to her ex, and Joel had that hot button question from the last episode that is she what is it? Is she controlling? Is she clingy? And then he said no, she's not. And then he said Venetia usually have her own fan base because the way Venetia looks voluptuous. She looks really good. She looks cute. She looks beautiful. So she's going to have that eye cast on her when she goes out to the club or wherever she goes out. Men going to be looking at her. So then that's something Joel would probably have to get comfortable with. But Joel, I at the starting of Ready to Love the season, I was feeling him, but then the last episode I started looking at him kind of side eye because I don't think he's ready to love. He's not. And Venetia, she looked like she's been through so much, and she's actually looking for love, and she's actually ready to love. But I don't get that kind of vibes from Joel. And also in the last episode, like I said, when his female friend said, like she asked him, Joel, are you sure that's what you want? Are you're ready to be in a relationship? It kind of raised the red flag for me that Joel is probably still not ready to be in a relationship as yet. Maybe he's just not ready for it yet. And his friend knows that, and she saw it, but she just mentioned to him that is he sure? But I think there is something she probably know about him. Maybe he's just not ready to be in love, or he's not ready to be in a relationship as yet. But we'll see how that goes. Then we got Amber and Chris. Sometimes I wonder what do those people talk about when Amber brought her ex, and then her ex asked, "What how many kids does she want? She and Chris want to have?" Chris said he wants to have 5 kids. Amber's like, "Whoa, she didn't know that." So what do they talk about? Like, to me, if you're getting to know someone, like you would have you ask how many kids do you want to have? What's your intentions? Are you planning to get married? Like, what do they talk about? Like, I'm kind of getting confused as to what conversations they have, because how would you not know how many kids Chris wants? At that stage, you're all kissing, you're all lovey-dovey. You don't even know Chris wants to have 5 kids, and you're like, whoa, like you're blindsided by that answer. So what do they actually talk about? But then Amber's story was kind of a little sad when she said her ex was interested in men, and he confirmed that he was interested in men. But they remain good friends, which is good. Well, he wanted to be his true self, so he came out and be his true self. So I understand that. But then he didn't have much to say bad about Amber. I think Amber would be okay with Chris, but I still think that Chris is not a strong enough man for Amber, because Chris likes to go with the flow, and that's where Chris goes wrong, in my opinion. Then we got David. Can David please come to the front of the congregation, because he's about to get a spiritual whooping. That man did a live last week Saturday after the last episode. That man did a live for an hour trying to justify his behavior on the last episode, saying he wasn't mad, he wasn't upset about the kiss between Liz and Jason. Okay, that's what he said. He tried to make a whole bunch of excuses on his live, which made no sense to me. He said all the people that need therapy, they need to look at themselves in terms of they getting therapy. He don't need therapy. His therapy is God. So his spiritual therapy is God. So God is working on him. And basically what he's trying to say is God is the one that's going to fix him. But sometimes it's not just God. You need more than just God to fix yourself, because from the starting of that season, I've been saying, I'm kind of scared about David, because David looks very broken. David don't look like he's ready to be in a next marriage or next relationship anytime soon. So I do not know why David thinks that he's ready, and he's not. As a man, I can see David is not. I was a bit upset that the way that conversation went with he and Liz when her ex came to the picture. I like her ex, and I think he saw through David's BS. And how dare you, David, ask the man when was the last time he and Liz was intimate? What does that have to do with the whole conversation? Like no, sir, you don't do that. Like, you don't do that, bro. You don't. I mean, you could ask questions about Liz, like what is she like? What, like, get to know what do you like, what you don't like, basically stuff like that. But then when you're asking stuff like, when was the last time you guys were intimate? Come on, David, like, really? That still shows that he's holding that, like, to him, he's seen Liz in a different light. That, the way he was looking at Liz on this pedestal, he don't look at Liz on this pedestal anymore because she kissed David, and he just cannot get past that kiss. That man just cannot get past that kiss. So he's starting to look at Liz as some kind of, I guess, some Jezebel or something like that. That's how I put it, because he cannot look at Liz in the way he used to look at her anymore. But we'll get, and then we go to the part where it got close to the ending, and the way he stood up over Liz, talking over Liz, not giving Liz a chance to speak, bro. If that was my sister or my family member, we would have had to have a conversation about that. It would not pass like that. We would have to have a conversation about that, because as a man, you don't do that. You don't. I mean, she wants to have the conversation. You have the conversation with her. You listen to her. You hear what she has to say. And then you'll go from there. But you want to stand up. You want to talk over her. You want to lean forward and try and kiss her. Man, come on. No, sir. That it don't work so, brother. You don't do those kind of things. And looking at that whole situation, I got so fired up. I just have to just try and calm myself down, because if I could have gone through that screen, I don't want to say no more. You'd have probably be laying on the floor, probably in cloud 9, seeing some stars like in the cartoons. But nah, David don't work for me. David gotta go. He gotta go. That man gotta go. Something is definitely wrong with that guy, and I really do not like that guy. And I don't know what to say about his behavior. I really don't know how to justify his behavior, but he's not a man to me. He's just a broken man that needs help. Then we got Jason and Kyra. Kyra X spoke about her finances, like she's not too good on her finances, but I cannot understand, because Kyra is still growing. So, I mean, she's still early. She's younger than me, but then stuff like that, you grow into it. Like, you grow into managing your finances better. You're going to manage your life better. So I guess Kyra is getting there to the point where she'll be able to manage her finances and her life better. So I really didn't see anything wrong with that. That's something she can work on. And then if Jason is really interested, the two of them can work on it together. If she's willing to. If she's not willing to, that's a problem. That's a red flag. But if she's willing to work on it, I don't see anything wrong with that. Let me see. I got my girl back here. She's been gone for a minute, but she's back. What's up, Kia Simone?
Let me just, since you finished with the finances, he's probably worried about the finances because he's not trying to keep up with her. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, I'm doing well over here by myself. I don't need you to come over here and try to put me on a budget. So sometimes, like, if a guy see you doing too much, then they start getting worried because they might feel like you might be asking them for too much. You know, what was that show, 90 Day, when she was like, I need a Gucci, what she said, Gucci bag or whatever. So, hey, listen, don't try to be over here counting my coins. Yeah, I could do better, but he looked a little worried because, you know, he's a school teacher. I don't know how much teachers get, but it.
So you don't want me to put you on a budget?
No. Listen, I got a purse budget. I got a shoe budget. So don't be coming over here talking about we gonna put you on a budget. No, I was doing this. I mean, as long as I'm putting in my 401k, as long as I'm saving. Now, trust me, he was going a little extreme because Kyra don't even look like that type of chick that's gonna go on vacation and come home and her lights cut off. He was doing the most. So a lot of times when a guy trying to put you on a budget, that's probably because he can't keep up. That's what my ex told me. He was like, your next boo gonna have to have some, a couple coins.
I'm going to bring up a couple of you guys and just give me 1 minute. You guys can talk about.
Hey, Isis. Hey,
ladies. Just go ahead and have a small discussion about whoever you want to talk about. Just give me a minute.
Hello, friends.
So, Crystal, are you letting your new boo put you on a budget? I mean, like, how he gonna come putting you on a budget and y'all ain't even ask the right questions and you trying to put somebody on a budget?
No. And as a matter of fact, it really looked like the ex has had this conversation with her before. So that's what I got the impression, that the ex has called her out on her spending before. And so they, because after what's his name left, she said, well, maybe you can help me out with this. So it sounds like she's been called to the carpet on her money spending before. She's a lawyer. She's 34. She knows what she's doing. I agree with you, Kia. She's not somebody that's gonna do something that's really young acting. I had a couple of friends that did that before. I was like, wait a minute, y'all took a trip to Disneyland and did all this stuff and had matching outfits, then you come back with your electricity turned off? Where they do that at?
But that's what I'm saying. It's stressful because, like I said, the guy that tried to put me on a budget, I made more money than him. So I'm like, that's not my fault, bro. I'm giving you a chance by, hollering at you, but don't come over here trying to put me on a budget because you on a Burger King budget. Now I'm willing to, share my, finances and, whatever.
No,
but he was doing too much.
I agree. She's a lawyer. She's 34.
Yeah, we didn't like Burger King.
Crystal, give me 1 minute. Kia, can you elaborate on what's a Burger King budget, please? Because
I tried to put that in my book, but then she edited it out. Hold on. Wait, so my editor, she didn't add that part in my book, but it was a guy that took me to, he was like, I pulled up, and he was like, oh, you know what? I'm hungry, let's go to Burger King. Okay, no problem. I ain't all that bougie or whatever. So we get to the drive-thru. Do you know he didn't have enough for the cheese? I was like, oh, we not never going nowhere else again. You can't even get cheese on your Whopper. So that let me know right then I couldn't even order nothing. I was like, okay, sir, let me drop you back off home. And he probably was like, what happened to her? I ain't seen that man since. I'm sorry. He couldn't even get cheese on his Whopper.
Thank you very much.
Crystal, exactly. That's why I was like, no, this is that.
Right. Thank you. I honestly, I appreciate that because I was kind of lost as to what was the Burger King budget.
I'm sorry. Huh? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Didi. I was
just a little lost as to what's the Burger King budget, so that's what I wanted to know what it was.
No, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'll go to Burger King. Like every now and then I do. I have a taste for Burger King. I'm cool with that. But when you come into my life and be like, this is our budget, we can't never go nowhere else but Burger King, I got a problem.
If he can't afford cheese, he damn sure can't afford Red Lobster or something like that. And that's really like
Crystal.
That's like Applebee's. That's like
I can't make this up. I was like, okay, so I'm thinking in my head, like, what if I wanted something? So you just said, okay, well, since you're already in the car, let's ride up to Burger King. And what if I wanted something?
That's like a one-off thing. That's like, we're hungry, we're on our way to somewhere. Hey, do you want to go Starbucks or something like that? Like get a Frappuccino. But that's not
at the end of the day, I think Kyra is still growing. Like that's just what I think. Because the older you get, the wiser you get, the smarter you get. So I think eventually she will be able to.
Kyra is not getting her lights cut off. Okay.
Yes.
I promise you. I got a hair budget. A guy seen my hair budget before. He asked me, can he use my PayPal or whatever for something? Whatever. He looked, he was like, you pay that much for hair? Yeah, you pay that much for the good hair. Why is you worried about it? I never asked you to buy me a bundle. But dudes be so quick to try to put you on a budget when they can't afford you.
No, they make assumptions. They make assumptions on you. They make assumptions on your character. I remember I never asked the guy to pay for my nails or pedicure, but because he saw that I get my pedicure, you might be too high. I never asked you to pay for my pedicure.
What you think, Misha?
Never ask you for that.
Yeah, what Misha thinks?
I didn't understand where it came from. He obviously has like a basketball coach salary, and she has a lawyer salary. So I was like, where is this coming from? At this point, I've been watching some of their lives. Like at this point, they only known each other for like 3 weeks. So what are you talking about? A budget and how she spends her money? What does that have to do with you?
And it gives me the impression that the ex is the person that was really having this issue with her, and then he brought the issue into the conversation with what's his name, Jason. Like Jason doesn't even know her like that. Like you said, it's only been a couple weeks. So
like, where is he getting this from? And when he was saying like, will she go on a vacation? Like, as a basketball coach, what vacations are you going on? Like, why are you worried?
Honestly,
like, I don't know what like happened between him and Kyra. If he like caught on that maybe Kyra's high maintenance, and maybe I think maybe he might be trying to tone that down to something he can't afford. But she didn't ask him to do that, so.
And that's where I'm at, because that's how I'm feeling. Like, you don't know someone. Like I said, first of all, I don't tell people, like, even people in my family, they be trying to figure stuff out. You don't need to know my, like Candace said in the comments, mind your own pockets. So you don't know if somebody's house is paid for. You don't know what their situation, you don't know what their 401k looking like. You don't know what type of side hustles they got. So mind your pockets. So I think it was intimidating because her checks is a little bit bigger. And he was just like, okay, I'm at Burger King. Like you said, he ain't even at the Red Lobster yet. So he like,
Yeah, just hold on it. Isis, I'm going to bring you back up, but your volume is pretty low. So I don't know if it's your mic or something, but you're really, really low. So
Isis, check out that. We'll stop talking.
Yeah, check out your volume is really low. You there, Isis?
Hello, can you hear me now?
No, we're hearing you, but it's really soft. Like it's really soft. Your volume.
Okay. Is this better now?
Yeah, I can hear you a little better. That's much better.
No. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
The only thing I really wanted to say with respect to this is that we really all need to be clear. Because you are a lawyer, it does not mean you have a very high salary. She is a new lawyer. She probably has student loans, and she's an entertainment lawyer in Houston. She's not an entertainment lawyer in a spot where, entertainment law may be really paying her bills. But honestly, that's neither here nor there. I just want to get to talking about the show. I don't really care about her finances. So y'all let me know when y'all ready for that.
We're getting past that.
No, I just jumped in on that, Isis, because Didi, that's the last thing he said that just caught my attention when he was doing his his setup. So yeah, like I was just just thinking to myself, like, why was it so important?
But let's jump into it. Let's talk about Joel and Felicia.
I think that when she was dating that guy, to say when she was dating that ex, it seems like it probably was an issue within their relationship in terms of finance and budget. That might not be her issue today. It could be her issue today, because I do know that not just because you're a lawyer does not mean you banking big money. It depends. And so we don't know, but it's 3 weeks in. I don't think Jason is all that super concerned.
But again, like with Jason, he asked that thing. So, like I said, even if it was in the past, it was like he was probably already looking at the situation, like, okay, looking at her spending habits. He asked the husband, if I can recall correctly, that he brought that, not the ex-husband, but the ex-boyfriend. He brought that up. It wasn't like the ex-boyfriend brought it up, like, hey, she has a spending problem.
Isis does bring up a good question, though. Was that the guy that she was dating for 9 years? Because if so, that was her college sweetheart that was with her for most of her 20s. So like she said, that may have been an issue when they were in college, when they were dating, but that may not be an issue now. So
yeah, but that's why I said I think Kyra is still growing. I don't think Kyra is probably like that right now, or maybe she's like that because she did admit she needs to work on it. But from your age of 18 to say, let's say 30, that's the transition. That's the time where you transition from, okay, you just want to party and have fun, into, okay, I need to start saving and spending and probably investing. Well, some people, but I mean, that's the age. In your 40s, that's where you start to really think, and that's what you want, and you head towards that direction. Some people don't do it, no matter what age they are, they don't do it, but then that's up to them. But let's talk about Felicia and Joel, because I don't know why Joel is he wants to know if she's clingy.
The internet broke my heart. Y'all know I love Joe. Why did y'all have to let me see that video? I was like, what?
I didn't watch it. I was like, is he actually rapping? And it's
exactly.
I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna wait.
Crystal, y'all know from day one, I was feeling David and Joe. So I don't even need to watch the show no more because they just basically just made me so sick. Like I was just like
so sick.
Let's just talk about Joel right now.
I'm glad, Kia, because I told you I'll take Joel. I'm glad. I need less competition, so I'm glad, Kia, that you giving him up. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, I got a caller, Pooh. What's up, Pooh?
Hey everyone.
How you doing?
Didi.
Yeah, thank you for calling. That's the second time you're calling in. Thank you for calling.
No problem. Listen, I don't like any of these men on this season. I don't like any of these men on this season. They all have, even what's his face, the one that said Alexis is her number one.
Ron.
Even we saw his true colors at the end of the episode, just the way he was talking to her. And David is crazy. You know that from day one. You don't have 2 ex-wives without and not have any issues. There has to be, the common denominator is you. And we saw a bit of his problems. I think for me, I'm sorry, Isis, I know you wanted to move on, but I have to pull it back to Jason really quickly. Because I think that Jason is looking for a sugar mama. Plain and simple. Because, look at the 2 people he's dating. Kyra, she's a lawyer. And Liz, she's the CEO of her own of a company, and he's dating a bit above his paycheck because I think he's looking for someone to take care of him. I think that innocent look is just a front. I think that at the end, I think he's trying to look for a woman that's going to pay for him, and knowing that Kyra doesn't take good care of her money, he's just quickly run back to Liz just overnight. He didn't have a conversation with Kyra to find out what exactly her financial issues might be. Is it just a loan, or does she just... Some people are not good at saving money. They just, spend so much on, designer labels and everything else and nothing in the savings. Doesn't mean they're broke. It just means that they're not planning for their future yet. So I think that Jason's planning for his future, and that's thing. He's just sweet talking all of them and like lip locking from one person to another. So I don't trust him at all. Joel is probably, if it's Joel or Joel, I don't know. Venetia calls him Joel.
It's Joel.
It's Joel. I call him Joel. Go ahead.
Like, I think he might be the most level-headed one. And I think maybe Chris is a bit delusional because he doesn't seem to tell whether or not a woman really likes him. And when she's just like trying him out, I don't know. Because of the last season when they were on the resort and the way Naya just turned against him. So I'm just thinking like he's doing the exact same thing with Amber where he's putting all his eggs into one basket again. He's not dating anybody else. He's just focusing on Amber, who's like 10 years younger than him and might change her mind tomorrow. So I think that he's lost out of this opportunity because I think the women are much better than the men this season. So I'm not loving the men at all.
All right.
So, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well,
no worries.
Carl, let me just answer
let's go,
a few
Isis.
of the things you said. One of the things you said was that Jason is looking for someone to take care of him. There is not a woman that is on this show who is not appearing to be financially secure. So there's not a woman he could have picked that made, no money. They all make money. And I think that Jason, based on the interview with Kyra, Jason always asks good questions. He asked her, what is her relationship with her father? He's looking for a mate. And so he's asking those kinds of questions. How is she with finances? Those are the questions that we should be asking when we're dating someone with a purpose, because these are the things you need to know. So with respect to that, I don't know how much Jason makes, but I do know that Jason used to play basketball overseas. So he could have a fat bank account for all we know. And he might want to teach and coach children because that's something he likes to do. So we really don't know what his finances are at all. I don't think we've even seen his house. So with respect to that, I just want to give Jason some room. And I feel like there's not anyone else that he could have dated that doesn't have money on this show. We know they all own businesses. All of these women on this show, this whole season, all has something going for them. Maybe outside of the flight attendants, but outside
Well,
of
I
that,
agree
it
with you
appeared that
that
most of these women had something going on there.
I
With
agree because
respect
the
to
way
Joel,
look, sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead. No, go on,
oh,
go
I
on.
was
Seriously,
just
nice.
gonna say, with respect to Joel,
Uh-huh. Joel.
yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
With respect to Joel, what I would say about him is just that it's 3 weeks in. And if you're a female and a guy 3 weeks into dating is talking about marriage, down the line, is mad that you talked to another girl, that you kissed her on the cheek, and they have issues with it. So for me, if I'm dating a man and 3 weeks in, he's talking about marriage and he has an attitude because I kissed another guy on the cheek, I am going to think something is up with him and I'm going to need to do some more exploration. I don't think that he's pulling back from her in that way, but he's like, yo, let me slow down and evaluate this. Because 3 weeks in, this girl has mentioned marriage. She's claiming me. 3 weeks in, she's claiming me. She's got an attitude because I kissed another girl on the cheek. And that should be a red flag for anyone, male or female. And I'm going to sit
Isis,
the rest of this
Isis,
out.
in Venetia's defense, she did a live with Kyra, and she said she was answering the questions she was asked, but the way they edited it, it looked like that was it came out as she was saying, like she was talking about marriage. See, she was just answering. They asked her about marriage. She was answering the question. When they asked her about when she said she's territorial, she said it's a question she was asked because she even said that Joe's female friend said she's the same way that she's territorial when she has a man. But she was talking about if she and Joe gets to the point where they're serious. That's what she was talking about. So I'm just saying that I watched that live and that's what she explained. So she said it has to do with editing, and it seems like almost everyone is blaming editing. So
let me go here. I'm disappointed
Editing
in this
is
show.
everything.
So it's just like it seemed like it used to have a little substance, but it looked like they're trying to create their own narrative. And the editing is like they're confused and chopping up. We're not knowing about the outside dates. We're not knowing what's really going on or why you reacted this way. Or they're cutting out because like even Amber, when she said something like they took off the end part about the kiss, she said she didn't just leave it off like, oh, he just kissed. She said they went more into detail, but they just didn't air that part. But that's like those spoiler alerts when they want us to watch next week. So it gets to the point where you don't even know what's what. But I think Bernicia is on her grown woman stuff. She's been through enough. And she thought her and Joe had some type of connection. So I think he just want to test the waters now. So he's just trying to use that clingy as a way to just get on up out of there. So I'm sorry, Isis. Your boo is playing a little,
yeah, because here, remember, one more. Let me make a point. I remember she said, she gave an example that when she called him and then she planned to have dinner with him, he would just, like she said, he would tell her okay, and then later on during the day, he don't call her, he don't say anything to her. I don't even think she's psychic.
That wasn't an example. That was what actually happened.
But Didi,
you
remember me and you had a conversation, not saying any names, but you remember me and you had a conversation. This person I wasn't even dating. I said it's a respect of time. It's a respect. So as a grown woman at my age, I'm not like, listen, if you tell me, Crystal, we going out to eat, we ain't even dating, and you don't call, I got a problem. Isis, don't tell me we going out to eat and you just like blow it off. So
no, I agree. I agree.
Michelle, what Michelle?
That's why I didn't mention that point.
They made a date. They made a date, and then he said, after I do this, that, and the other, then I'm going to give you a call and let you know. And so hours go by, and she's like, are you still doing this, that, and the other? And he said, well, since I didn't call or text you, that means the plans changed. I'm not a mind reader. All you need to tell me is that, hey, this, that, and the other changed and plans changed and I can't make it. That's all he had to say. But instead, he calls her clingy and they get into a tiff because my idea is just like he had said, his eyes started wandering elsewhere. I don't know if that's the same day that Kyra came up to him and they had that one-off date or what, but it just sounds like to me that he started to say, you know what, maybe I need to start looking at everybody else just because me and this and Renisha have been really getting to know each other. But to me, if she said I was hangry, that's happened to me before. I'm like, listen, all you gotta say is, hey, I'm not gonna make it. If you just let me know that, then I'll make other plans. But don't say we're gonna do something and then you totally change your mind and not inform me of that. I'm a grown ass woman. I can make other plans too. See,
I see Nisha nodding her head yes. Chris, I'm with you. It's the principle. And so if he's all the way grown and you don't know that you're supposed to be respecting people's time, you're not ready to date then. You ain't even ready to love. You ain't even ready to date. That's like common courtesy.
It's a common courtesy. His eyes started to wander or what have you. Even if he got busy with the kids. If old girl got 3 kids too, I get it. Say, hey, something came up. I'm good with that, but don't just not say anything. And I'm sitting here waiting for it because we have established we're at a point where we're getting to know each other. So we're at a point where we are making dates. That's it. So all of it is common courtesy. Say something happened.
I agree. Yeah.
Em, let me hear what you got to say, Em.
I think Vernisha gave up the chase too quick. So now he's just lost interest. And yeah, I just think he knows she put all her eggs in one basket. Yeah. She knows she doesn't have no other connections. And on top of that, I was watching her live too, and she said that her and Joel made an agreement that they wouldn't kiss other people on the show. And that was her issue with him kissing Amber. Because according to her, they kissing off camera. And how are we kissing off camera and you gonna kiss Amber on y'all first date? And y'all don't even have a connection. So that was like her issue with that. And I'm like, but I think he knows what he wants from her. I don't know if he wants a wife. I know he wants a mother for his kids, but he's moving like he just wants somebody where he can come and go when he please. So I just don't think, I think he's already categorized her. He's put her in a category. Okay, we can hang out, we can grab food, but that's it. And Vernisha's like, no, I'm a wife. I want this, this, and that. And I think that's where the clingy, the controlling, because she's not playing her part of what he wants from her, because she wants more than what he's trying to give her. But I just don't think.
Don't you think if she wants more, she shouldn't accept less? Because I don't understand why these women never say, I'm done with you. Like, go to the thing and say, I don't choose Joel. Because he's not doing this for me. He's not providing that to me. He's not being honest about this. Why is it that the women always settle for it, but the men are always quick to be like, nah, I'm not with that. And I can't wait for when they get women on this show who can clearly say, you're not giving me what I need, so bye-bye. The one who did was Naya, and look what we did to Naya. So, that's just my comment.
But Isis, you got to remember it's a show. So if people just leave the show, they won't have a show. Because you remember when Adriana last season said that she was over, Rashid or whatever, and they was like, no, keep him on the show because we're not going to have a show. Like, so at the end of the day, they have to have
true. That's why I hate production.
And they were like Misha said, they established a certain type of relationship, whether it was just a get to know you relationship. And then he goes and changed the rules. He was at a point where he was making, not making plans necessarily, but he is literally getting to know this one person. And then he goes and changes up on her. And then he doesn't even say, hey, maybe we should pull back. He just doesn't call. He just said,
he labels her clingy and controlling.
So
he doesn't own up to nothing.
Let me get this, guys. Maybe production cut some. I don't know. But do you know when she went back to the lady lounge and Tommy was asking about the situation, when she was describing, her ex and Joel meeting up, it seemed like she still didn't get it, because even when the ex said that she wasn't clingy, it's like, girl, he asked that reason for a question because he wanted your ex to say, yeah, she's clingy. And so when the ex said no, he wouldn't even have nothing to run with. And she was just like, well, yeah, my ex thought he was, good. I don't think that's what her ex said. I think she just wants, because she made that connection with him and she don't have any other connections, that she's trying to make it work now.
I absolutely believe some of that was cut out.
But,
Like I'm in production too. Some of that was cut out, and I do want to say something about production, the cutting of stuff. So I was watching something that Chris KG was on, KJ or KG, and he said that a lot of people have been talking about me just dating Amber. Amber and I did go on more dates, but I also went on a date with Alexis, and I went on a date with Kyra. So it just because that's the only thing they showed, I did go on 3 other dates.
And Tressa, he said he also went on a date with Tressa
too. Mm-hmm.
Let me show you guys. Look, the internet seems to be winning because I came across that on the internet. What do you guys think about Joel's?
That hat walked in 10 feet before him. That wasn't even a page boy. That was a page boy. When
I saw you show up with that hat, I was like,
the glasses, the cardigan. I'm like, he switched up his whole style. What happened?
But that hat,
that's your boo, Isis.
And then there's derby hats. I was like, that's the wrong hat, bro. That's not.
The one thing I would say about Joel is he is working his brand. He is all over the internet. He's throwing parties now in Houston. He is working his brand. So strong J to him. And hi, Auntie.
Hey, yeah, let's see how you doing. Hi,
Auntie. But again, I think like all of them just do well on the internet or Instagram or whatever, and they do all the little bar scenes after because it's like they're all like at one big party and they just all just hang out. So at this point, it's just like I don't think it's ready to love. It's like ready to go on Instagram, ready to get
ready to hang out.
Applejack, that's what it was. That was.
But let me ask you a question. The way Joel was dressed, would y'all have an issue going out if a man dressed like that?
It was just a hat that I didn't like. The cardigan and the jeans and I knew what he was doing. And then the hat, that was the wrong hat. That hat was too big. That was the wrong hat. Because my father used to have like hats like that. That was the wrong hat.
And he said no.
It was so random to me. He's been in V-necks and like just regular outfits, and I'm like, if I was dating somebody and you dressing regular, then you show up like that, I would be like, what's going on? Like, what happened? Like,
no, but Misha, he's all about his look though. Remember the first night he was wearing like a leather coat with the button not buttoned up, button to his navel,
with his chest out,
with the chest out. He's all about the look. So Tim changed that.
I saw AJ wasn't alive, and AJ said that production also have a way of like controlling how they dress, because AJ said that they wanted it. If you notice, AJ always wears suits, and he said it was production that asked him to wear suits. And he said when he saw Joel came, like Joel had all his chest out, he was like, "Wow, like what's going on?" Because he was like, "That's you wanted to wear V-neck shirts and stuff like that." They were like, "No." He said they told him like, "Don't wear V-necks, wear suits." So, like I said, I think production.
It wasn't so much like they're forcing, but like even with Ida, when she did her interview with you, Dee, she was just basically saying like how she would have like several outfits and they would select which one I guess will look better on camera, or they would with lighting like, oh, well that one right there.
To that point, I know we're not talking about this couple yet, but what happened to all of David's clothes then? What the jeans?
Why do you have the same outfit on for 3 days? Like he didn't change one.
To that point,
he did change. He owned a lot of Stonewash
jeans and white shirt. What?
He owned a lot of Stonewash because that jacket with the fur, whatever, that was a little Stonewashy. Like, he was in Jacob's closet.
I was like, where are all your clothes, man? Like.
So let's talk about KG and Amber. Like they're meeting the exes. Boy, Amber's story for ex. Whew, that's a hard pill to swallow. Because the dude said he was interested in dudes.
But why did she have to bring that ex? She could only find the gay ex. She couldn't find another ex.
Listen,
Misha,
soon as boyfriend walked in, I knew what was going on with him.
Oh my God, Isis.
I know it's for TV, but some of my exes, I would never want y'all to meet. I'd be like,
Yeah.
No.
But also,
I want to slap myself.
I didn't mind him because he will give you some discernment. He will be like, listen, like he's good, but no. He would be able to tell. And that's another thing. What's up with KG's jacket? Like what Yeti did he pull that off of? what is happening? So yeah, I actually liked that guy. I actually thought that he would be honest with her, and but I did when did KG ask, well, what happened between you guys' relationship? Because like that editing, you noticed. I was
I
like,
think it was kind of off because he was too busy trying to figure out their body language. Because he said it was like off until they finally exposed what was going on. So I think when you walk in the room and something's off, he's like, "Are they still sleeping together? What's going on?" Something was odd.
Yeah.
So then when they finally revealed it, and it was like, "Okay, now the date is over." So he really probably didn't get a lot. The only thing he probably got from Amber is that she's understanding because who would still want to be there for that person. And she did. She was there, so that's what he probably gained from it. Like she,
mm-hmm.
But at this point, I started to wonder what does KG and Amber talk about, like, because how Amber didn't know you wanted to have 5 kids, and she's like, oh, like she was blindsided by that. Like, what do they talk about?
But why does she make such a split decision and say, yeah, she's okay with that? And I picked up on that the ex asked her that. The ex was like, are you cool with that? I'm like, and I feel like the ex would already know that. I feel like he was trying to like get the truth out of her. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, I never heard that before type of thing. So I'm like, I feel like anything KG says, she's just like, she goes along with it. So I don't really know if I know like the true side of Amber.
Yeah, I actually don't think that they talk a lot as well. I actually agree with you, Dee.
None of them. Because, okay, let's go here. Do we even talk about Alexis yet? None of them. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Y'all
about Alexis yet. And I also think Liz and Jason don't talk. Let's
go here.
Sexually attracted to her. So
if prayer is so important to you, you would have picked up sooner that Ryan don't want to pray. So it's just like, again, like Dee Dee said, what are y'all talking about? Like,
prayer.
What are they talking about? Like, what are they talking about? Like,
let's go back to KG. And
no, we can go past David and Amber and KG because it was just like it wasn't all that. But let's go to Alexis and Ron because I think Ron should have stuck with Crescentia. But
yeah, I agree.
Alexis wants to talk about being judgmental. When she saw Crescentia in the club, what was her remark? Oh, the way Crescentia was dressed, this and that, and she wants to talk about people being judgmental. And you want to talk about you want to be you're a Christian, you want to, but she's judgmental. So I don't know where Alexis is coming in that though.
Yes and no. Okay, so those they're. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hold up. Let go ahead, Michelle.
I'll be quick, but I think Alexis was too busy competing. She didn't even know what the prize was. Like she was going so hard against Chrysanthemum, and then Chrysanthemum's gone. She's like, wait a minute, you don't go to church, you don't believe in God, you don't pray. Now she's like, it's like you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. She got her stupid prize now, so be happy with what you win.
What I learned about Alexis this episode, and maybe I was just sleeping or not paying attention to her much, but she allows herself to be picked. And I know it says he defined a wife, find it a good thing, but she kind of rolled with Ryan because he selected her. And I just want, if she's watching, lurking your channel, Dee Dee, sometimes you gotta sit back and don't just let somebody pick you and you go with the flow. That's how I got in half my relationship. You just somehow end up in a relationship. Ryan was probably never even her type, but she just felt like he picked her. If KG would have picked her, she probably would have went with the flow. So I think she need to like reevaluate herself and stop letting people pick her, and then she just go with the flow and then feel butterflies or we're a couple.
Did he really pick her though? Like she kept going up to him. Am I your number one? Am I your number one? Like forcing him to say it.
Yeah,
but he really picked her.
He picked her.
She's affirmation, so she needs words of affirmation as clarity. You know how some people like say, "I never tell you know that they love you." Some people their love language is touch. Hers sounds like it's affirmation, where she has to hear you pick me. So once he said, or all time, whatever, she felt like he picked her. That was her problem with AJ. So I just don't think she even have a fit there. But hey,
I think that he did put in the effort. There's something where he was putting in the effort. He was making the calls. He was like reaching out to her and saying, hey, I like you, and saying, let's do this, let's do that. So she felt picked, or she felt like he is choosing me when a man is making those extra efforts. So, he's choosing me. But
Well,
AJ,
look,
she
her
said,
jaw dropped when she really said, "What?" When she said, "What can you do for me?"
That was horrible.
oh yeah, that was
was
that
cool.
whole interaction
That
was
was
just
cool.
like, ooh.
That was
Let's go
toxic.
here.
It was just-
Dee Dee, you needed to
But-
get on your plane from St. Lucia because all
Yes.
the guys was garbage on this episode. From David standing up, from Ryan, being cocky. She's still a woman. So he was just like all of them. They needed a real man. Tommy needed to show. Where was Tommy? It's like they was talking crazy. They was like what Kojo say. They moving mad in these streets. In them
So can we go back to the interaction with the ex and Ron though? Ron is so now I can understand if you've had a bad situation in the church.
Yeah, you had a bad
experience. Thank you in church. But you have folded all those experiences. Every person you meet that's associated with Alexis, I could feel the Jesus oozing off you. Absolutely not. I didn't feel Jesus oozing off of her ex. Absolutely not. But he manifested that in his head, and now he has concluded now, she's not the right one. She felt like, okay, I like Ron, I like what he's bringing. But then after, I agree with you, Misha, after, what's her name, Chris was gone, now this is a deal breaker. Being religion is a deal breaker for me. Now I really have to look at this. And he was like, she's going to pray about it, but I'm just going to go out and get it. I'm just going to go out and get it done. And that was condescending. That was like, now you're being rude. So I feel like that whole interaction with the ex and then her interaction with her, we don't even know who was about to stay and who was about to go because both of them was trash. But this guy is so
I told y'all last week who was
anti-God. Like
say.
he was so anti-God that he didn't even see past that. And that's actually happened to me where I actually had an ex that said, and I was like, well, wait a minute, are you an atheist? Are you, he said, no, I'm not an atheist. I just don't go to church every Sunday. So you're not you do believe in God, right? Because that is a deal breaker for me, And he said, no, I wasn't like raised that you go to church every Sunday. So I did start dating him for a while. And I did think, okay, maybe. And then I said, let me investigate this. And I said, you know what? He's not right for me. So I think that she wanted to still see where, she was trying to see if, okay, he does believe in God. Like, is this a deal breaker for me? And when he kept saying these little things, she said, no, this is not right for me. So that does happen where she was like, okay, I know that he's had a bad, he was in jail, like he's had a bad upbringing, or he's, somebody that's getting over some things. So can I get over that? Can I be okay with this? But the little things that he kept saying, we could see that it wasn't okay, that it wasn't going to be, that was a deal breaker for her. And so, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Can I just comment about?
She got the stupid prize because again, Ryan, that was just she was playing a game and she won a stupid prize because Ryan, I was just looking like, what? Like, where did you come from? Like, you got to look cocky now. You thought because you had a couple of options, now you coming off. He just.
But not okay. So where's that? Remember what he said though? You may not be somebody that has have had masculine energy, a lot of masculine energy in your life. What it was, I was like, what is? I said, this man's gone crazy. Like every little thing.
Masculine divine.
Oh,
it
was it masculine
energy?
divine?
It was masculine divine.
Divine masculinity.
But honestly, divine masculine. Ron is actually the exact person we saw on the first day. On the first day, he was very clear. We could see exactly who he was. And he did a live in which he said he was going to self-eliminate. But she kept calling him. She was calling him and telling him, no, don't leave, woo, 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 woo. And that's how she pulled him into it to make her his number one. because she pursued him. He didn't pursue her initially. That's what he said. He hadn't, after the first, I guess, episode or whatever. Remember how we were like, what happened to him? And then all of a sudden, he's that guy. But he was planning to leave because he hadn't found that woman who was going to be his Michelle Obama, but was going to not have a real job and not cook. Because if he thinks that's what Michelle Obama is doing, is being a housewife, he's actually stupid. But if y'all remember, that's what he was looking for, this woman who was going to be at home and birth his children and cook him 3 square meals. And then that person kind of went away while she was pursuing him. And I told y'all before that Ron was going to be the one to go home, and they were going to try to keep David. She was about to send Ron home, and she still may be sending Ron home, or he might just decide to be like, I'm out anyway. And David is getting ready to self-eliminate himself. But that's going to be the 2 guys going to be leaving next week. You heard it from me once again.
Oh, I agree. I remember what he said.
Crystal, let Pearl, you have anything to add? Hold on, Crystal. We just let me, because I want to give everybody a chance to say what they have to say.
Yeah, I think I was just going to say that I think Alexis has a lot of self-esteem issues. Even as confident as she, stands and walks tall and everything, but the fact that she kept on holding on to this, Ron chose me, I was picked, just shows that, like the ladies have said, that she needs some sort of affirmation, and she needs someone to tell her that she's the best, and that might have stemmed from something that happened in her previous relationships, because she did say this episode, and no one's ever made her number one or something. So I think that's kind of knocked down her self-confidence, and everything she puts up is a front, because even in front of AJ, she just completely breaks down and, and melts like butter. And so I think she's just looking for someone to prioritize her in life. But with that said, I think that if she's planning on changing Ron, or converting Ron like she did her ex, that's not going to happen, because her ex, she probably met him in her 20s, because that was before her marriage. Like, Ron is he 40? Is it 30s? I don't know. But when you get to a certain age, it's difficult to change your ways. So she needs to be sure if she's going to accept him as he is, or you just move on. And I agree with you, Didi. I think that Ron should have gone with Chrysanthemum, because I think they're on the same playing field.
Yeah.
I think that Chrysanthemum can handle him, just the way that, the way she carries herself. Ron is someone that works in the club scene. So he's going to be around a lot of women. He's going to have, his temperament's going to go up and down and things like that. And I think Chrysanthemum is person that he can bounce off, whereas Alexis will probably break down emotionally because of her confidence issues. So I think that they're a terrible match. I think that in this season, the women are 10s and the men's are 6.
I agree with you.
The only is going hard at the men.
I agree.
I mean, as well, what do you think? And Pearl touched on it. AJ and Alexis, I feel like they don't speak at all. Like, it's all AJ, and I feel like this is on Alexis. That first date, Alexis said, "I am physically attracted to you." She was laying it on thick with with just very affectionate. She was laying it on very thick. So AJ knows how to get her. So she just stopped talking and she just melted and let this man just all over her. What do they talk about? What else do they have in common? Has she asked him about his religious background? I haven't seen that conversation.
Can I just say, I think that
AJ
is the game player
right around that time.
But you remember AJ said at the beginning.
Hold on. What were you saying, Paul? Let us just.
Yeah, I was saying, I think that AJ is a game player, because I think when it's time for elimination for the women, he starts clinging onto someone. And I think that he knows he was holding on to Kyra. Kyra's number one is now Jason. He's nobody's number one. And that's why he kissed Alexis, so he could be her number one. He's just trying to stay in the game. but without making. But I don't understand why you're not making any genuine connections, and are you really here to find love? Or why are you here? If you're not connecting with anyone, just go home. But for some reason, he wants to stay, so he's trying to, juggle, find a way to stay. So Alexis is his, ticket, and she's bought it. She's dropped her on, and she's now on Team AJ. So
AJ, right? Okay. Yeah, I feel so as well. Kia, where's she rent? Kia, what's up, Kia?
I gotta go. I'm gonna be right back. My battery is dying.
Okay, I thought Joel called you. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. All right, let's jump to the
AJ always somehow.
Go ahead, Isis. After Isis, we're gonna jump to David and Liz. Go ahead, Isis.
I'm just gonna say that AJ always seems to find a reason to pull her in or touch on her right before elimination. I believe he keeps her around because he's trying to get to Kyra. So if he can keep in the game longer, he has more opportunity to get to Kyra. So when they go on this retreat, we'll see what he does then. But again, for all that Alexis did to get rid of Chrysanthemum, that's now making Ron mad because he lost his girl, that AJ is going to turn around and leave her too, and she's going to be going home by herself.
Isis, I was thinking the same thing. Alexis is going to play herself. That's what she's going to do, and I think they will kick off.
I'm back. So now that we was like, okay, so they all admitted that they've been hooking up, calling each other outside of the show because the show was like basically like not putting certain dates together. Like when they was asking production, like, yeah, hey, I want to go on a date with this person. So they just made stuff moving themselves. A couple of them probably already hit it or did whatever. It's all a game. So I don't even think like what we're seeing, we can really analyze. Because somebody in another group said earlier, like, it's almost hard to even analyze because it's like one big mess. Production is not making sense. We can't put the puzzle together. So I think we all gonna need constant or a big bottle of wine because I'm just.
Okay. You see when Venetia brought them to the spa and then they were mixing the drink to the man they acquired. I think for Liz, they should have given Liz 2 big bottles of vodka for David because the drink they mixed for Liz wasn't enough. Because when you get to David is, I don't know. I've been saying that from the starting of the season when I started reviewing that show.
And I tried to give him the benefit. You remember, I tried to give him the benefit. I was like, well.
Yeah, a lot of people try to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I've been saying David is broken. That man is broken.
Let's leave David and Liz to the end. Let's start with Jason and Liz. Do they have anything in common? Do they talk about anything else since that Ferris wheel date? Except for sexual attraction, does he think that he is going to break her chastity belt? Why does he keep pursuing this? He knows he's not even interested in her. He wants Kyra.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him because he said he's confused between Liz and Kyra. I do not see Liz being a good fit for him because Liz is another one that's into her God. She's into religion. She's into abstaining. She's looking for love, but he and Kyra will mix.
Zach, what you just hit on something. She's a challenge to him. So Liz is kind of like that forbidden fruit. Like you be like, let me see, because like I said, he tests the waters with that kiss. So you a Christian girl, and you over there let me like, So he was like, okay, she open to that. Now if them cameras wasn't here, would you let me touch the thigh? And
Okay,
stop laughing.
Over there making faces. Do you think now? I do have Coach said something that he's a shapeshifter. Oh, now that he's with Liz, now that he's saying, now he's reciting, what was it? The book? I don't remember what book because I did not see that scene.
I think a book of David or something he recited.
I didn't see that scene, but I'm not surprised. So, what do you think? Do you think that he's she's a challenge?
I guess he's a chameleon. What's a chameleon?
Not so much a challenge, but because I got some mail, sometimes I'll be like, I'm trying to be delivered and be reformed, but sometimes you be like trying to like, if a guy don't be interested, and I've learned that too, then you like, well, why he not interested? And then you be like, okay, let me figure out why you ain't trying to kiss me, So I think it was just that thing with her. It was just like, okay, she was straight up going around the whole party. Oh, I'm a virgin, not virgin. I'm abstinent. I'm this and I'm that, whatever. So he was just like, okay, let me see how far we gonna go with this.
Right.
I feel like with Jason, I noticed that with Liz and Kyra, they both say Jason makes me feel like a kid. And I'm like, do you really need to be with a kid though? Like, I feel like that's kind of how he carries himself. Like, what can a kid offer a grown woman? I just feel like there's a reason why they keep saying that with him, but I don't think he'll have anything serious with either one of them long term.
Look,
I think that could be why they keep him around, or she.
Like I said, let me address what Misha just said, because like I said on my last review, Casanova, me and Romeo never been friends, but we know about Jason, and Jason got that game that have them loving what he does. So that's why they feel like a kid again, because when that man brought out the roses, that man brought out the wine, and I think he just know how to finesse a woman. So I think that's what they like about him. That's what I can say about it. That's what they like about him.
Sorry, DD. I was not impressed, and I'm just a little girl over here from the D. So come on now.
No,
he's playing the game.
I was like, okay, it's just an art show. I think AJ if he knew what to do with it, he's a music producer. And he's got dark chocolate, and he actually did comb that beard the right way. This last one with the hat, I was like, okay, now I see it. If he does know how to do what to do with it, but I don't see him like being that much of a finesser.
I agree with you, Crystal, 100%. Because AJ has, he's tall and dark and handsome and whatever, so he feels like he doesn't have to work, just like Amber said. The women just come running to him, Alexis and everyone keeps running to him. But with Jason, I think that he probably has to play those games. Like he has to, touch your hair when you're talking so you blush, and, all those little things that he does, that he knows exactly what makes a woman tickle and stuff. But because that's what he does to keep up with and get, the women that AJ's losing, literally losing all of them to it. So, so I think that if you've got the natural looks, you just become naturally lazy. And
okay, so Pearl, you telling me, let's say on your first date, a guy brings out the roses for you to walk on. The roses lead to a table with 2 more roses, with some champagne. Maybe if you all have a conversation, let's say if you like shrimp, you got shrimp cocktails, and you telling me that's not a guy that knows how to finesse a woman?
If that's enough? A lot of women,
no, I mean,
yes.
Wouldn't you feel satisfied on that date? Wouldn't you?
Oh, you feel good. You feel special. Like a lot of women will feel very special, and your attention's being paid. Women like to know that someone's paying attention when we talk.
That's what he's doing.
Listening. Right? So he's checking all the boxes. Like I feel like for him, it's almost like a game of like Mario, where you're trying to get all the coins and everything else and tick all the boxes. I'm still on my sugar mama theory.
I'm with
Pearl. You're on your sugar mama theory with Jason.
I am, yes, 100%.
I'm with Dot Willie. Jason watched too many movies and too much television, and he used that stuff because he knows it's on TV.
Yeah,
I don't think this is his true self. He trying to be at home with his sitting on the couch with his hands in his boxers. He don't even look like he that romantic. Like, where are y'all seeing? I'm even surprised. Like, the women are even attracted to him. It's nothing sexy about him.
Your ladies are cold. You are cold. I'm going to give the guy.
It's the gums for me.
I agree. Jason's cute, and I like the roses. But to me, I was like, I couldn't remember his name, and I kept saying the guy with the big teeth. Who's the guy with the big teeth? I couldn't remember.
No, it's the baby teeth and the big gums. That's
big gums.
Michelle, Crystal, Isis, and Kia. Remember when we started, Kia said, what do you want? No, you don't want the Burger King date, right?
No. If he was nice and respectful,
what would you prefer?
I'm single.
Listen, even if you watch television, would you prefer a Burger King date or a Jason date?
I take a Burger King. I don't have a problem with the Burger King. What I'm saying is, don't put me on a Burger King budget. That's what I said.
No, okay. But I'm just saying. Let's forget about the budget. would you want to go on a Burger King date or on a Jason date? Which one would you prefer?
I think I'll
It
go on a
depends
Burger
what
King
you
date.
want.
What do you mean a Jason date? We haven't
AJ
established.
Tell you
was
why
AJ
I
was a
think
Burger
Jason's
King
date is
date, wasn't it?
unoriginal.
This
So,
was said AJ was a
wait,
Burger King
Didi,
date.
wait, I'm about to school you. So
I'm
a
listening.
real, don't do that generic stuff. Cause I had y'all gonna be like, kid been through some stuff. So I had a guy who bought me and his mistress the same gift. Be original. Don't do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's like some Jason, like he watched TV and was like, rose petals will get her. Okay, listen to the girl. So if y'all been doing enough talking, you would hear like what she like. So if she says like, oh, you know what? I was at the mall. I'm on my way to get a candy apple. Then surprise her with a candy apple. Don't necessarily have to be the rose petals. Surprise me with something that you heard me say. Like I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's the things that really get a woman. Like if I mention like, oh my gosh, I love the such cheesecake. I don't feel like riding over there. Then I come home and you got a slice of cheesecake, baby. That's better than the rose petals for me.
All right. Well, look, Candice made a very good comment. It will be very sweet, but most men who are that showy are horrible at continuing that behavior long term.
100%.
That's what I'm saying. I think he watched too much TV. Dot Willie, my homie, put that in the comments, was like he watched TV and he wanted it to look good, so he just followed the stuff that he seen work on movies.
Even
Yeah,
when he was
once
looking
the
at the
cameras are down.
pictures, like he didn't know what he was talking about. When he was looking at the pictures, he didn't have nothing to talk about. Like, why did you take her there? Like, you saw that somewhere and you're just trying to repeat it.
Yeah, he said that his friend owned the studio, or his friend is an artist or something like that, so he brought him there. I
To be honest,
that part, but
your
Listen, Dee.
that was with hold on here.
art studios. I do love that.
But I actually have seen that in a movie for true. Like the guy got the art studio from his friend, and he took his date to that art studio. I've seen a movie like that before.
Or Coming to America, then he sees his picture on the wall and he has to run past it.
No, it is a cute date. It is a nice date, but it's not.
I saw a movie before where they had a date at a amusement park. Like, who put that together? Do you think that's really what Liz would do? Is put together a picnic at an amusement park? Come on now, it's all production. It's all
yeah. I mean, honestly, like I said, I'm not like saying that you can't take me to the beach. So I've had a guy that it was meaningful. I said I had a stressful day, and he was like, "Come on, let me just pick you up." And he just took me as is and was like, "Let's go eat this." He went and got some food downtown, and we sat in the car and opened it because he didn't have no cover. But it was romantic because it was thoughtful. He knew he saw a need. He was like, "She at work, she's stressed, she about to whatever." So it was acceptable. It's just don't do the traditional stuff. I think it was Candace that was saying it. When you try to watch TV or you living up to what your boy do, that may not work for her. Like I said, listen to the woman. That's a turn on. For a man to hear what that woman say and then you come through, baby.
That's why we all were when we saw the cheesecake, we were all like, yes, I thought that was so cute because that's what she said she liked, and he paid attention to that. I did like the studio and the rose petals. Yes, that's cute and that's pretty, but that's not. Oh, okay. What's next? I wasn't like, oh my god, I'm taking my pants off. No, okay.
Okay, let me ask Lola that question. Lola, which one would you prefer, a Burger King date or a Jason date?
Nobody deserves Burger King.
Nobody deserves Burger King yet, but nobody deserves Jason either. Jason is a high school boy who just wants to be playing out with grown women. Like he used to dream about his mother's friends. Like, I'm still insisting that this little boy is playing. Somebody said, I think as I was coming in, about how he's doing stuff he saw on TV. Look, he used to play ball, right? So he's doing those things that used to make those girls, the silly girls, he used to win them over with silly things. But look, tricks are for kids. These are grown women looking for real relationships. Does he have what it takes to deliver? I mean, look at the scenario. When he went on that date with, what's her name, Kyra's ex, homie with the sleeves, and he started saying some things, all of a sudden, he's confused. Confused about what? If that was a chick for you, what were you confused about? Who wants to feed who? This boy is a little boy. Like, I'm sorry, Jason, if you hear our voices, I'm just like, dude, just fall back and date the girls. Okay, don't go to high school, but go to a college student and start dating over there. I'm just not with it. Like, he's not, first of all, he's not good enough for Liz. But look, after I've met my sis Kyra, with Kojo, he's not good enough for Kyra either. So he just needs to fall back and just self-eliminate. But that's just my opinion.
Amen. Amen. Can I just add? I just want to add. Remember Liz? The reason why Liz is like those high school kids is because Liz has no experience. She hasn't dated anyone in 17 years. Her one ex she brought in, they only had one kiss. That's not an ex. That's just like a casual thing.
That is not true.
Yeah.
No,
But that's what, I'm just taking what
Liz
I heard on
has
TV.
dated. She is
But
not
anyway,
in a relationship.
I'm going on with what I saw
but she's dated.
on TV. Basically, Liz is the kind of person that will fall for the stuff that Jason is throwing at her. And that's what the point I'm trying to make. Like, she wants the rose petals and she wants the Ferris wheel and she wants all that stuff. So I think that Liz is great and she's beautiful and she's successful, but I think that she needs someone to guide her in this dating process, because otherwise there are some horrible players on the streets and they're going to take advantage of her.
No, but let's get into Liz and David, because I get your point, Pearl, but I think people underestimate Liz, because when she got to that, you see that situation with she and David.
Yes,
I like the way she handled this.
Yes, she did. She stood her
People are
ground.
underestimating her well. That's why David must have think he could have played Liz by. He said he went on a couple of dates with Kyra.
Yeah.
So when he realized, that's what I think. When David realized he wasn't going to get free with Kyra, he got very desperate. That's why he was trying to go back to Liz. And then that's why that whole situation went down the way it went down, because last minute you can see like he attempt to kiss her, like, I don't know, but
let's go back with Cray David, okay? So
David,
me and Dee was talking offline because Dee was like mad earlier. Dee was about to get him a ticket to the US and he ain't even got his, stuff together yet. But Dee was like, listen, I was like, bro, when did I get it? I didn't watch it yet. So he was like, that David, calm down, bro. But David, I'm gonna tell you what the signs that I saw this season. He's abusive, because whenever a man don't want to be around another strong man, that man didn't say nothing to you sideways. He was like, "Oh, I'm out of here." A man like that, they don't want to be around a man to call them out on their stuff. That man was not disrespectful, but you didn't want that Liz had a protector. He was like, "Why would you do that to her in front of your friends? You want a safe place, but you're not providing a safe place, bro." That's what he didn't like. And then when he got up and started talking to her, that part 2, I was like, David, I see why Dee was hot this morning.
Yo, I say if that was my sister or my aunt, David would have been on the floor, because the way he came at Liz, I always believe in respect. Liz started the conversation. You should have let Liz speak. Let her say what she have to say. And then you listen. Let her vent, whatever. Then you give your take. He wants to take over what she's saying, and he wants to stand up. Now, when he stood up, that's when my blood started boiling, because he's trying to show a certain level of superiority. That's how I put it. Like, he's more superior than her. So he's standing over her, and then she stand up. Then when he realized what he did, he's trying to kiss her like, This should have given one straight of his nuts. That's what she should have done, and just walk out the room. Because that he doing too much. He doing way too much. He doing too much. And that dude is a
David ain't coming on your show, Dee.
I don't want him to come on my show.
What happened? I didn't even watch the show. I was like, what did David do? Like,
that's when I texted Dee last night. I said, "Oh, I definitely want in on this show today."
Crystal,
I don't want him on my show.
You got space for me today? After seeing that last night, I said, "Oh no, what the heck?"
I don't want him on my show.
Can we go all the way back though? So we already knew that they had edited a portion of the Friends meeting. We knew that there was part of it edited, but for him to go, he gives me such Eric energy. Don't do what I say, do what I do. Don't, whatever the saying is, because he doesn't like to be embarrassed, but doesn't care that he's embarrassing her. So she does him a solid, calls him and says, just so you know, I went on a date with Jason and he kissed me. I kissed him back. Fine. She didn't have to do that. So the next day, he's meeting with his friends, and then he says, "Oh, so what'd you do today?" It's almost like he knew that she and she met with David, not David, with Jason. So then he says, "Oh, did you kiss him too? Did you kiss him earlier today?" I don't know your people. I don't know your people. I don't know your friends. These are not my friends. How dare you embarrass me like this? And that was not cool at all. That was
but Crystal, we don't even need to go that far. When he asked the ex, when was the last time you and Liz was intimate? What does that have to, that dude is winning a grudge.
He's insecure.
Absolutely. It wanted to put him in a place of more comfortability. Okay, so this is your ex. How ex are you? And so the ex had to say, no, the last time they probably were intimate, but the last time we actually kissed were years ago. So he wanted to feel comfortable. So he needed to relax. And then for the ex, first of all, that ex, I was like, Jesus.
Wait, hold on. That ex. Let's stick with the ex. Do y'all remember? That ex he was a full course meal. Sorry. Yes. It was a 3-course on. Like, look, that's what made him feel threatened. He saw that ex, and all of a sudden, he was on the defensive. So he was looking for anything to throw against him. Because coming up with something dumb like, when was the last time you were intimate? How about it's none of your business? But we're going to answer a dumb question.
That ex, and then that ex was dressed, and like I said earlier with Misha, I know I'm talking about, but I said with Misha, I was like, what's going on with all of David's outfits and this jeans outfit? And then you come up against this man and all this black with this Jesus piece, he got the cross, just shaved, looking nice, and you got this jeans outfit on. David was so outdone, he didn't know what to do.
So let's rewind. So y'all remember. So let's rewind. Okay. Mm-hmm. So y'all remember when it first started, episode 1. I liked David, but y'all remember when it changed for me when he was talking about them cell phones and the Facebook. Y'all thought I was crazy when I was like, no, it's the delivery of how she presented it. I don't think he really meant that, but I was like, it was something off about that. I'm like, you need the password. Did Didi try to take up for him? So I said, well, what if she died?
I apologize.
I was still giving
him I apologize because I was making excuses for him, saying that passwords can lead to trust. But then when it get to that point where
be quiet for a minute. What? You remember Didi said, just in case the person died, the person need to go on their Facebook and announce it.
He knows. Right. Like there means in place. And we schooled him that day. So we told him that there are things to follow when someone dies and you can go into their account. But I guess he was feeling, a fellow, Christian brother. I guess he was feeling him. He said that's part of a marriage. Yeah. So, that's okay. People can change their minds.
So, can I hear that apology again, Didi?
I am sorry, Kia. I apologize. You can continue. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is at that time, I was making excuses for him because I thought he was actually leading up to trust. But then as time went by, that man is not leading up to trust. That man is leading up to insecurities, abusive behavior, whether it be mental or physical. That man, and he also needs to do some self-reflection and some self-healing because he's definitely not healed.
What did he say to the ex? Did he say, can we bring down the testosterone? What was his actual words? And the ex said, I'm an alpha. I don't know how to be.
Bring down that energy. Like he
bring down the strength. Yeah. That's what he said. I'm like, what?
I'm sorry.
The strength of the room. That's what he said.
Oh, yeah.
Bring down the strength in the room. And the guy was like, I don't know how to.
I'm alpha. I don't know how to do that.
Let me tell you what David energy he giving me. Believe it or not, I had a guy that actually I'm gonna say he was my ex. We were together, and everywhere we would go, he would be like, "You slept with him." It would be the insurance guy. You'd be like, "I don't know that guy. He just broke your policy." Like what? Like anybody that was nice to me, he'd be like, "I think y'all did. Y'all had sex." I don't know him. What? I had to find a tax man. It was a good tax man. Because he was just like, oh, I think he was doing something shady because he didn't like when you got married to me. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to say that.
But listen.
Didi, I need you to delete this one.
I can't care. You sold yourself. That's you got to figure out how to get it off. But look, you guys know that famous Jake from State Farm. That's David, the wife. Who's that? We're talking to Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm, yeah. What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
What are you wearing, Jake? Khakis. David will be like, khakis. That sounds hideous.
That's a good one, TD. Keep that. Remember that when we do the reunion. Because, I can see David like, who you talking to?
So what did you think of the end then, Lola, the actual interaction? Were they actually going to keep David?
So to me, first of all, both of those fellows need to go. But first, she needs to school him and then cut him off. And then Ron needs to self-eliminate. But I don't know. The way they cut it, like, I hope so, but they always come up with these dumb surprises because, first of all, David is of no use to anyone. I feel like Liz has clocked it and seen what's going on. Definitely, okay, so Kyra's confessed that they were dating, but Kyra doesn't want anything to do with David. And Ron, who is Ron good for? Alexis has woken up and realized that, you know what, we're unequally yoked. This man, he was my backup, but he's not even good as a backup. So both guys need to go, but maybe that's why they played it out and they've kind of stopped it and we didn't see the end because what are they going to do on the show? Like, who else do they want to see? Nobody wants either of those two guys. So to me, if they're not gone, they should be gone.
Yeah, I agree. Because Ron was insulting.
They will both be gone.
Ron was insulting, and David, he actually made me nervous. I was like, this is so uncomfortable. And Right, what were you gonna say?
I think David's gonna self-eliminate because he can't control the conversation and how he's perceived. So I think they're gonna put David chose to left to leave and
listen, I'm with Lola. Do us a favor and do two. Just because they held it out for the week. Just go ahead and do us a favor, and at the beginning of the next episode, just both of them be gone. We wouldn't be sad.
I am. That's it. Go ahead, Isis. After Isis, I'm going to wrap it up because I'm tired of talking about that.
David did a live where he basically outed himself because he said that he was there for 3 weeks, but others were there for 4 weeks. So we know that next week, David is absolutely going home, and Ron is also going to be going home. So it's going to be another double elimination. Yeah. It's going to leave Jason trying to figure out which one he wants, Kyra or Liz. And then AJ is going to take Kyra, and Jason's going to be stuck with Liz, and hopefully Liz will be like, no. Yeah. And what's the little girl? Alexis Fly is going to be flying away.
But you know what? This week, I've been on Alexa's ass and been saying she's about the game. But I love the fact that this week she was transparent and honest because honestly, as females, can any of us say we haven't tried to pick the safe option? Because she was very transparent. She said, look, AJ, you're the kind I would go for. You're the kind I would fall in love with, but I don't feel safe with you. So my guard is up. She was clear. I mean, you can't be as grown up. That's the best way you can go. I would like you, but I don't see a future because of the way you are. So I love the fact that she said that. And the truth is, AJ's, because I feel like he's giving Kyra that energy too, which is why Kyra is sticking with Jason. Not because Kyra doesn't want AJ, but she doesn't want to be left out in the cold. So if he's giving off that kind of energy, is he really ready to love? Probably not. He's still playing the game. He's playing the game, not playing for love. So this week, Alexis kind of won me over because it's not easy to be that honest, saying, I picked Ron because Ron picked me. And the truth is, we've all done it one time or another. And if we don't do it, we end up being like one of those females. They're with a guy dating him for 10, 12 years. Then all of a sudden, he finds the right one and then leaves. So if you pick an unsafe option, you're kind of floating.
I agree with you, Lola. I actually think that, not only was she transparent with AJ, but with Ron as well. She's the type, she does like a fixer. We've seen with her ex-husband who had a lot of challenges, but he was really religious, and she wanted to do this whole thing and be married to him, be married to a guy that needed a lot of help. She wanted to help him and lead him to Christ and things like that. So she does want to fix her. So I think that's what was helping her with Ron, or not helping her, but that's what was leading her to Ron. And but then she said that the religion is a deal breaker for her. I definitely think she was very honest with herself. And this week I was like, okay, I'm liking Alexis. I think she's calmed down on the sexual innuendo and all of the just leading with sex. And she really started to lead with what she really wants this episode.
Yeah, but I just think the problem I have with Alexis, I think Alexis is just a little bit too judgmental. That's the only thing I don't like about her. She like to judge people, like, and she's saying Ron was being judgmental. Yeah, but she for me she judges people. Like, you like, worry about your own, worry about your life, your business, worry about you finding love.
As Misha was saying, don't you think that was a competition? Like she was looking.
Yeah, but I don't.
Alexis
For me,
have always been honest with the guys that she really likes. She was honest with Jason from the beginning about how she liked him and how she could see him and wanted him. She's always been honest with AJ about that she gets butterflies. She was sexually attracted to him. She's not been honest with Ron because she never, I told y'all this, she does not like Ron.
Yeah. She likes Ron's
never
ex or
one
Ron
time
somebody.
she's been honest with him until now.
Yeah.
You don't have to fix Ron. Ron, you can't fix Ron. Ron is not a fixer.
No, Ron
you cannot fix Ron.
But she's thinking that
he's
she
not
can.
a fixer. No, she's not. She's just using him in order to get to the end because she's never once really shared who she was with him. But the guys that she has liked, she's been very honest and upfront with them that she liked them.
Yeah.
And with Dee, what you said about, I'm reading the comments by Natavia, and just kind of piggyback off of that. I think she knew Chrysanthemum was like a challenge for her or competition. So that's why she had something to say about the outfit, because she probably was like, okay, that's what we doing up in here. Yes. Okay, like, you know, so I think because it was a competition, because you see she's straight checking Amber this time on the preview. So Alexis doesn't like competition, it seems like, you know, this is like not a good environment for her. And like I said before, I'm not judging her because I wouldn't be on this show. I'm too grown for that. You can't be running around kissing everybody, even on the forehead. I'm just, you know, listen. I'd be like I said, I'll be eliminated first night because I'd be like a burn. You know, she just picked who she wanted and was like, okay, I don't need to be messing with all these other people because you said a couple of awful things. So I think this just may not be a good. When Kojo talked to her ex, I had a different light of her when he talked about her, when he said she was willing to, you know, lay on the church floor with him. That said, I spoke a lot. A girl that's willing to grind with you, she won a lot of points with me on that day. And that's when I started seeing a different, you know, side of her on the show. So I think when it comes to sometimes women, maybe she has like an issue when it becomes like that, because she has that pick me syndrome. So it's like, okay, I don't do well with competition. Well, that's what I think.
Well, definitely. I think with the other females, with Alexis, particularly with Chrysanthemum, I feel Chrysanthemum kind of triggered an insecurity within her. So that's why she was, because who is she to say that somebody's wearing an outfit that's overexposed? Because she's had some stuff out there, but she just felt triggered that, oh, this is the person I'm in competition with. And I think that's why she was always pressing, who's your number one? Because of Chrysanthemum. Because maybe she's looking at Chrysanthemum as, oh, maybe this girl is more attractive than I am. What do I look like? And of course, there's all these things going on between them. But I don't know. Other than that, I haven't seen instances where I'll call her judgmental. I'll just say she looks at her competition and wants to annihilate them. Now, that's what she does. But other things, I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm listening to what else you think she might be judgy about. But with the females, she's trying to judge them and break them down and get them out the way. Because we know she's competitive. It's about the competition. Like, who was it? It was Isis. You said that with Ron. It's true. With Ron, he was her backup because she doesn't want to lose. But who does she really like? Definitely AJ is one of them. And what's his name? Jason was. But since Jason told her, I'm not into you. But AJ didn't say that. AJ is not that into her, but AJ is now looking for his backup because Kyra's got all these guys looking for her. So all these games.
Yeah, so Dee, I think we're all with Lola. Like I said, I can't see Pearl and Isis, but based on the head nods, we kind of think it was just like a woman thing. You know, women, we could be catty sometimes.
Yeah, we size each other up like, oh, who she thinks she is.
Well, putting it in that perspective, I get what you guys said. Yeah, so I guess because it was like a competition, she was just more or less being competitive.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
You need some more men on your channel, because see, you're not gonna win. You got 1, 2.
Well, look, I got some eye candy for you just because you came a little late. I got some eye candy for you. And that's your boy.
You know what I said about this guy's outfit, because I already recorded my video. Like, he looked so different. he made me think of like one of the dudes from Backstreet Boys. Like all of a sudden he's covered up and he's looking demure. Like what's going on? There's something there. Like what happened between? All of a sudden he doesn't want to appear attractive. I don't know what he's playing at, but I don't know. My girl V hasn't clocked that. Like I don't know if they're really going to end up like he seems to be removing himself from her slowly. Like he just seemed different.
Right. He's looking for a way out.
Yeah, he's looking for a way out.
I totally agree. He's trying to remove himself from the whole situation. It really seemed like he's trying to remove himself from the entire situation, because who else besides Kyra, or not Kyra, or besides Renisha, have we seen him with? I mean, we saw the one date with Amber, but that really wasn't anything. I feel like he was trying to remove himself from the whole situation.
I'm not trying to be mean. But some tell me that he got what he wanted from Bernicia already.
Exactly. The chase is gone.
Damn.
He got a lot from her. If they're kissing on camera,
you remember last season? Who wants to be? Wait. Who wants to be known as the girl who gave it up on the show? Because you remember last season when Winter walked to that room at 3:00 in the morning talking about they had
I will never forget those videos.
She was waddling down that hallway.
Right. And wide base gates.
You seen that walk changed on the way back?
What happened to this? What were y'all doing?
Here, I'll say allegedly because I don't know. I really do not know. I don't know.
I ain't gonna say that it went all the way, but it just seemed like something happened. Like you said, if y'all made an agreement, then all of a sudden your interest just go from. I don't think it was just the clinginess.
I think Misha brought it up. I just think they had an agreement, and then I just think because he's not being committed to the agreement they had, that's why he wants he wants out because he cannot agree to the terms. That's what I think it is. I don't think they probably went as to where you say they went. I think
your boy is a playboy. Like I said, I be reading comments.
She went over that man's house with no bra on, no drawers on. Like
who said that? Who said that's Misha?
How did you? I didn't even
on
see
that
how
breakfast
did you see all that?
Yeah, that's
Greg, I'm
true.
changing my
You're
position.
Right. He did.
That breakfast day, she up there jiggling at the man's house
so you're
at
telling
9
me,
a.m.
Okay.
Like,
hold on.
Yeah,
Michelle,
you
telling me if it really comes over to my place with no bra and no pants, you going to tell me about I'm about to get some Netflix and chill?
Is that?
She wasn't. No? She was not trying to act like Liz. She was not trying to be holier than now. That was not on her mind.
I just had a conversation with a guy about this. A guy came over and I was like, hurry up, let me, put on, and he was just a contractor. But I was like, let me make sure I'm fully dressed because I don't want you to be seeing nothing or thinking that, like, what's up, hey girl. So if you want to let him know, you're going to come out, you're going to let everything be hanging, you're going to be like, hey.
I'm learning.
She was looking for the sausage. That's all.
And you like sundresses, so I know who to keep a sundress around. And when you make sure, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, I can keep this sundress on, baby.
All right, I'm learning. I didn't know that's what it's supposed to lead to, but maybe.
Yeah.
Stop playing like you listen. You a good boy, but Didi, stop playing around.
Didi's a retired player, so he doesn't remember the moves he used to do. That's what that is, right? Right, Didi retired. It's been so long.
Lola, this is my show, and you know what? I'm tired of you. Look what I'm about to do. Drop me. I'm so tired of you right now.
Bring my girl Lola back.
I love it. Bring Lola back.
See, I told you Lola.
So this is our version of David. He don't like to hear the truth. Like he's right here, so I don't say his secrets. Yo,
he said he's gonna cancel you. He said I'm gonna shut you down before you say anything.
You try to shut me down, sir. Like David Jr.
Lola, you know I love you, Lola. You know that. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Lola, shout out your channel. Anything new coming? Any topics coming?
No new topics yet. I need to take a break. I'm going on some interview trails, but at least I'm doing like the Ready to Love stuff. So you see on my channel, I'll upload the video later on today. I've got some other videos there. The other lives we've done, colorism, the girl and guy code. And of course, I did something on marriage. So please check out my channel. I've got lots of interesting videos for you to see. And my channel is named after me. Look at my name, @Lola.
Yeah, the name on the screen.
Right, there you go. Thank you, Didi.
Put it in the comments, Lola, so I can put it up.
Okay.
Misha, shout out your channel. I love Misha's channel.
Go ahead, Misha. My channel is Misha Allen. I do Ready to Love, Married at First Sight, and makeup reviews. So check my channel out.
Yeah, she does some really good makeup. Isis, what's your last words, Isis? Let's say your thoughts. I know Isis brings some fire today. Let's say.
I do not have a page or a channel or any of that, but I would like to say that I believe that Alexis is going to meet her match when she come at Amber. Because as we know, Amber ain't about that. And I think that the person that she's accusing Amber of kissing is going to be AJ. That's just my guess. But I think that's who she's going to be accusing her of, because it's definitely not going to be Ron, because Ron is gone. But I look forward to next week, and it's been a pleasure as always chatting with you guys.
We appreciate you, Isis. Pearl, what you got any last words? Is she there?
Hello, Pearl.
Hi. Yeah, I think it's a good season. I was just going to say that I think it'll be interesting to see Joelle and Liz together. I think that her energy would match what he's looking for, someone that's more calm but anyway, just a side thought anyway. He's not religious enough for her, but I think that she's a lot more calmer and I guess she'd be on him less than Venetia would. But everybody likes to cling to one person and not explore their options, and it makes it more boring when they do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think the next week, I don't necessarily think that Alexis is yelling at Amber. I think that's the way it's edited. I feel like she's talking about someone else to Amber, but we'll see what comes out next week. But it's been a good show and lots to talk about, and I hope David goes. I hope they both go, but I really, really want David gone.
Thank you, Pearl, and I appreciate you. Don't be a stranger. You can call in anytime you feel like.
Thank you very much.
Let's go, Crystal.
Tune in to Candy Convo with Crystal. We have several videos coming soon. Yes, David is made me very uncomfortable, and Ron was just rude, and they both need to go. Thank you guys so much, Pearl and Lola, Misha, Isis, and Dee After Dark is absolutely coming soon. And Kia Simone.
We ready.
Yes,
we ready.
So more stuff coming from me soon. So this was a lot of fun, guys. Love you guys.
Let's go, Kia Simone.
So y'all must have been on point today because y'all noticed the dogs are quiet, so we must didn't say nothing to disturb their spirits.
I had to get rid of mine.
The dogs are quiet today.
So they're good today. So guys watching, if you like my energy and you want to, pick up my book From Pain to Love, make sure you get your copy. I'll have you crying, laughing. I'll have you feeling all some type of way. I'll have you want to get in your car to come to Detroit looking for these fictional people. But just pick up your girl book. It's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, From Pain to Love by your girl Kia Simone.
It's a good book, y'all. Pick it up.
Yeah. I'm about to get mine soon. Trust me. All I gotta say is, love yourself, always do self-reflection, and always try not to be in a relationship or be in anything abusive, because I don't know, you see abuse, this thing it really triggers me as a man seeing that kind of behavior from another man, and I just don't believe in behavior like that. I believe people can respect each other's faces, people can respect each other's opinions, and people can have a discussion. Nobody have to speak over the other one, or nobody have to stand over the other one. Ladies, if you're in situations like that, if a man, whether it be you're just start dating, whether it be whatever point the relationship get to, do not accept that kind of behavior from no man. As a man, I'm saying. Thank you everyone for calling into my show. Thank you for everybody in my comments. Thank you to Auntie for tuning in to my live. You guys can also check out Auntie's channel. Auntie got some good stuff on the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to leave a comment. And thank you, everyone. And please don't be a Miss Cleo, because if you notice, Miss Cleo ended up in jail. Venetia had that problem with Joel. No woman cannot think of what a man wants, or no man cannot think of what a woman wants. So always have that communication as well. Communication is a key. I don't know why people think people have psychics. They can just tell what you want, what you feel like, or what you're going through. The last person that did that, she ended up in jail in New York, Miss Cleo. She was one of those people that took the PPP loans. If you're down with PPP, you know me.
Oh, no, he didn't go there. All right.
Yeah,
all
you
right.
end up in jail. So do not take no PPP loans and do not be a psychic. That's all I gotta say. On free, guys. On 1, 2, 3, bye. We are out of it. Bye.